are commanded to go into the world and make disciples of all nations, to heal the sick, feed the hungry, and comfort the afflicted. The brutal truth is that God is omnipotent and does not need our works. Yet the incredible thing is that He allows us to participate in fulfilling His will. While Christ had the power to feed the multitudes, He first waited until the people provided a few fish and loaves of bread, then blessed those offerings and worked the miracle. God commands us to serve, but waits for us to initiate action. He can then use and perhaps magnify our efforts according to His will. A team of 4 men and 4 women arrived in Guatemala, 8,000 feet on the side of a mountain in a village known as Chivareto. Marquitos, the community health evangelist of this village, was chosen to have a new well close to his home. In previous trips, the villagers would dig a 70-foot well, ready for the mission team to install a pump and water filtration system. Those wells were found in the first aquifer and always contaminated with bacteria. Our goal was to use a drill purchased with donated funds to dig a 150-foot well into a second clean aquifer, eliminating the need to purify the water. What did I notice first? There was an incredible beauty in both the landscape and in the faces of the children there. Yet just behind that beauty lay disease, parasitic infections, and malnutrition. One had a sense of Eden just after the fall. Yet God still loves the people. He cares for the poor and the afflicted and blesses efforts to care for them. When working amidst poverty, when there's nothing there but God, mud, and people, it becomes a lot easier to see the hand of God at work in people's lives. Drilling a well in the lowlands on top of a water shelf is one thing. Drilling a well on the side of an 8,000-foot mountain with unknowns is quite another. Not by my might, but by His might, all things are possible. The pit, the poly, and the drill. Each team member rotated around these jobs. A pit was dug to hold the poly solution, a slimy, dense liquid used to float the debris and mud out of the well during drilling. The poly. This solution was mixed in 4 large 50-gallon drums. It would take about an hour to mix the solution up to the consistency of concentrated Joy soap. It was so slippery you couldn't hold on to anything. The drill. You can't rush drilling. 5-foot sections of 70-pound galvanized drilling pipe would be fastened together with a 7-inch drill bit on the end. The poly would be forced through this pipe by a high-pressure generator to keep the mud and the clay from clogging the drill, most of the time. As you can see, not a very clean job. We were wet and muddy all the time. Because of the altitude, cold most of the time too. After lunch, children would come out of the forest, literally, nearly 75 of them. Ginger, Gloria, and Mona would play games and tell stories while Junior Gomez translated. Tales of David and Goliath and the Good Samaritan were heard by old and young. At the end of the week, 5 young girls accepted Jesus as their Savior. How awesome is that? Maiden voyage for this drilling crew. Lots of troubleshooting. The drill bit kept clogging, PVC pipe breaking, and time running short. Not by my might, but by His might. All things are possible. Worked all day Thanksgiving, still not able to set casing and pump. 1 day left. We started all over again Friday morning. 8 willing and tired individuals. Not by my might, but by His might. We persevered until 9 p.m. Friday evening in the dark by flashlight. The well is dug, casing set, pump wired, and time for prayer. A step of faith. Water. God doesn't need our money, time, or material goods, yet we are commanded to give. Here in America, we tend to give out of excess because we can afford it. There, we saw people in need who gave out of love. Team members included Mona Kale, Ginger Denny, Ryan Borger, Levi Christensen, Jay Foreman, Christy Diamond, Kirk and Gloria Douglas. We would like to thank Kirk and Gloria for their leadership and willingness to listen to God's call on their lives.